He gets a shove behind him. Green flag back in the air. Caution's going to come out. They're wrecking behind him.
Look right here. Look at Kate. See Keselowski's hand out the window. He's asking for help. Hey, push me. Give me a push. That's what this is all about. And it actually helps Brad Keselowski. He actually gets ahead of Trevor Bayne, I believe. This push from the 6 car is better than the push from the 11. The 11 pushing Kane actually knocked the rear tires off the ground. The push from the 6 pushed the 2 car ahead.
And Michael McDowell in the 95 was pushing the 6 and pushed him right around.
I think the leader of this race just switched. I think Brad Keselowski is going to be the leader of this race. Again, just everybody's pushing long straightaways. Everybody wants to be the first line into turn 1.
And it's hard to reference, but it looks like Kasey Kahne chooses to wait to the end of the restart zone. Now, he can absolutely do that. He can fire the race anytime in start that zone. But the problem when you wait.
During the 8-hour Indianapolis race, yes, I am not joking, it was like 8 hours in 2017, this race would not end because of these crazy and wild restarts with plenty of crashes and moments. This restart right here has to be the most frustrating one of the day when you couldn't even get to the start-finish line without bringing out another caution. Trevor Bayne would get hooked into Denny Hamlin and he would be spun back up across the racetrack and into Austin Dillon, who collected multiple cars. This race would not end, and it was because of stupidity on restarts just like this. But I will say, this was a highly entertaining Brickyard 400. This is something NASCAR fans desperately needed at Indianapolis.
New player at the front in 95, Christopher Bell. The outside lane. Harvick almost clear, but Denny Hamlin actually allowed the 9 car, helped the 9 car Chase Elliott get back up there to the inside. Now Denny Hamlin's in position. If he can clear, contact.
Made contact there with the 95.
Right, 95 is going to line up, push this 11. They're side by side up front. The 11 is going to have the run.
He's going to try it. Here comes Hamlin to the inside. And Hamlin will make the pass.
Wow, not so right rear quarter panel. Look at that move by Harvick. That's aggressive. Didn't get to the bottom right there, though. It's going to be okay. That was an impressive power move by Kevin Harvick to keep that lead.
Start. Stewart to the bottom, 3 wide for the race lead.
3 wide, your bottom, still 3 wide.
Maybe 4 as the 99 comes down the back straightaway here. Kyle Busch and Keselowski not giving in. Stewart by Busch. Here's Edwards trying to keep pace. Oh, that's close. Look at Stewart drive that car and wow. Stewart by Keselowski to the lead. That's 4 fresh tires working right there. Edwards racing the 2 for second and trying to keep up.
As what would go down in one of the greatest, if not the greatest championship battle in NASCAR history, it brought some crazy restarts. And they were done by Tony Stewart, the eventual champion. Tony Stewart said in an interview the previous week he had nothing to lose and he was going to go for it, as he would go 3 and 4 wide on his competitors to take every position he could to stay ahead of Carl Edwards, and that he did. Tony Stewart would clinch his championship, his 3rd championship for matter of fact, with his brand new Stewart-Haas racing team. He would beat out Edwards, but it was an amazing race as Tony Stewart would have such amazing restarts.
Green flag back in the air, overtime, presented by Credit One Bank. Look at how hard the 18 is going into turn 1.
Kurt Busch to the outside.
Kyle Busch gets the lead. Here comes the 20 of Eric Jones. Jones on the inside. He'll try to take the lead as they go down the backstretch.
Kyle side-drafted his brother Kurt. That could be all Jones needs. Can he? Oh, look at Kyle Busch drive it down into turn 3.
Can he hold it? 4 wide and into the wall.
Down
that
the
was
front
Chase
straightaway.
Elliott. Side by side. Here comes Kurt Busch. He takes the lead away from his brother. But now, Kyle Busch fighting back. Contact made as they go into 1. The Busch brothers, side by side. Tire rub by Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch now fighting on the inside. Once again, Kurt Busch making that outside line work.
What does Jones do here if these two get together?
Coming out of turn 4. Kurt Busch with the advantage. Kyle Busch slides. Kurt Busch will win.
What a finish!
Say what you want about 2019 and the restrictor plate package it felt like we had every week. With plate racing, it seemed like with this 550 package in dirty air, it made for a lot of frustrations. But in those frustrations, there were some bright stars and bright highlights of the season, and none was as special as Kurt Busch versus Kyle Busch on the restart. Two brothers battling it out at a winner-take-all event. Kurt Busch would pick up the win as he picked up his one win of the season like he always does, and he would beat out brother Kyle Busch in dramatic fashion, side by side to the line.
That would have been Larson by a skosh. Oh, that's great, but then by running side by side, here comes the 2 car.
Clear, shut the door.
Wash it out. Here comes Harvick to Larson's inside.
There's definitely a new motto in racing, and I feel like the win or take all motto was born in 2014 with this new playoff format. It was born at this very race in Chicagoland in 2014. Brad Keselowski pulled the winner take all move, but he did it cleanly and respectfully against Kyle Larson and Kevin Harvick. This restart right here is one of my favorites of all time, watching these three drivers battle it out for the victory. It was insane to watch.
Buddy, Truex is in trouble. Got to get to the inside. Got to make a move.
David Reagan gets out first. Here's Kyle Busch in the middle.
Oh, 3 wide.
Oh boy. Oh
4
boy.
wide.
Here he goes. Down
Truex
the back.
to the bottom.
On the inside.
Didn't you say that inside was the place to
I
be?
like the inside.
4 wide.
For now.
How did they make it that far? I don't know if they're going to make it off of turn 4, though.
Whoa, hang on to her, Martin.
Logano all over Truex.
I think Logano is, look at that, the hood flaps are going up and down.
4 wide at the stripe for 10th.
Hey, these two guys got a little history together, you know. Truex and the 22.
Well, all I know is that now Martin Truex Jr. knows what to expect from Joey Logano on the final lap.
Yeah, it's a checkered flag. That's what he's expecting now, because he is out there and he's gone.
The 2019 Coca-Cola 600 had one of the greatest finishes we've ever seen at Charlotte for a Coca-Cola 600. It had one of the coolest moments when Martin Truex Jr. would go 4 wide down the backstretch to take the lead and then hold off Joey Logano. This showed that Truex was able to win races in exciting fashions as well as flat out smoke the competition. Martin Truex also did this with a damaged race car after he pounded the wall off turn 4 earlier on in the race. He would slide job Logano in turn 4 and set sail to take home the victory.
Side back to racing at Chicagoland. Daniel Hemrick in the 8th, right behind his teammate Austin Dillon. Those two on the low side of the racetrack, and then teammates on the high side.
Joe Logano in the wall just a little bit with Kyle Busch on the back straightaway. Get a little push.
And Austin Dillon, he almost cleared Jimmy Johnson. Close.
Is that 4 wide or 5 wide coming out of turn 4?
4 wide right now. Joe Logano's from the top all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, next to the apron, next to the grass.
Almost in the grass, just shortening that front straightaway up as much as he can.
And we pick up where we left off. A battle for the lead once again. Austin Dillon on the inside, Jimmy Johnson on the outside, side by side for the lead.
It's going to be short-lived, the battle between the 3 and the 48, because Kevin Harvick right behind the 3 on brand new Goodyear tires. He's going to easily pull to the bottom of the racetrack. I think he's going to have the momentum.
And Alex Bowman in that 88 car, he went way to the top in 3 and 4. Looked like he was going to try to make it 3 wide with Jimmy Johnson. Just maybe just trying to stay out from behind him, trying to get air to the front of his car, get the downforce on it.
Austin Dillon running the line that Kevin Harvick wants to run. Taking that air away from the nose.
Let's take a look at that replay real quick with the 18 and the 22 here. It's the 18 car riding on top of the roof of the 18 of Kyle Busch, trying to push the 22. Both of them into the fence just a little bit down that back straightaway. Shouldn't be too bad. Look at the damage, though, to the 22 car on the right rear quarter panel. They want to work on that. Battle for the lead. Kevin Harvick to the bottom of Austin Dillon. You're seeing here, even with those new tires, we're talking about a lot of wide open throttle, but it just seems like you can make a more efficient corner runs right around the bottom, Junior. Jimmy John's side panner giving us a view here.
Austin Dillon tires are going to get out front. But here comes the 48 of Jimmy Johnson fighting back on the inside, trying to take that second spot back.
You saw Blaney jump up behind Austin Dillon, then immediately changed his mind and went behind the 48. Those are decisions that these drivers are going to have to make all day. Which line do they think is going to advance?
For many NASCAR fans, the fate of Chicagoland Speedway is still up in the air. I still have hope that it can come back one day because it produced some of the most amazing racing this sport has to offer. The racing and restarts at Chicagoland were always phenomenal. Just like we saw in a few previous clips, the 2014 one, along with this 2019 one, really show that this track belongs on the schedule. It is a beautiful track that has amazing racing and amazing restarts. I hope it could stay on the schedule. But the 2020 and 2019 season definitely had some wild restarts. And they weren't only in the Cup Series. Even in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, drivers in a totally different package were able to produce some of the most extraordinary racing this sport has to offer. From Nashville to Charlotte to Kansas, no matter where it was phenomenal. But when you mix an Xfinity car, a regular season championship, and much more, it's amazing.
3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go. Here comes Allgaier on the inside. They go up the racetrack. Allmendinger back in on the inside. He takes the lead. More contact behind him. The race for the win through 3 and 4. Allmendinger, Cindric, side by side. Allmendinger wins it at the line.
Hard crashing off into turn 1.
Well, here we go again. Coming to the green flag. Back underway.
And Gordon gets a great start.
Junior did not. Look at Junior.
No, trouble!
Oh, that's going to turn Truex.
Clip
And Truex is going to get right into Burton, and we've got more
we
problems.
got all kinds of people. Kevin Harvick,
Brian Vickers, David Reagan,
Yeah.
Casey Mears is involved in that. Oh, what a mess for the 8th caution of the day.
You see, the one has to check up. Kyle tries to squeeze to the right. And they, you know, whether Martin came over or whatever, there just wasn't enough room. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just everybody going for the same spot.
And you know, when the 88 spun his tires, he goes to the inside. So now all of a sudden it looks to Kyle Busch like it's a 3-wide racetrack. You see the 88. Look at how far over he comes over. You can't see it from that angle. But the 88 or the 18 stuffs it up in there, and the 1 follows and then comes back to get around the 88.
Yeah.
And there's no place.
Chase about a car length ahead as they're closing in on the 9. It's going to go up, block the top of the racetrack. Big crash.
Denny Hamlin involved.
Big
Like
crash.
Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric. This is what we talk about. Compromised track position, and you get right in the middle of it.
There's a lot of contact right there. As Christopher Buescher lifts off the gas, the 7, all those cars behind him, they all just make, they just run in the back of each other. Big accordion effect. They caught the 9 so quickly down the back straightaway. And
The Atlanta race in the summer is by far NASCAR's best race all season. It doesn't matter the year, it is phenomenal. And this year had one of the biggest crashes we've ever seen at a 1.5 miles. On the restart, there was a huge collection of vehicles after Denny Hamlin sent a bad shove to the front of the pack. And everybody engulfed in the crash behind him. And by everybody, I mean like 30 cars. It was unbelievable to see so many cars taken out so early on in the race. Manipulating the air around your competitors and their race cars to make them lose control is one of the greatest things about NASCAR. You could put your competition at a disadvantage by an awkward position you force them in their race car to do. And this is exactly what Bubba Wallace did to Kyle Larson at Texas in 2023. Wallace and Larson were racing hard for the lead with only 20 laps to go in the race. They would head down into turn number 1, and Larson would lose control of his race car as Bubba Wallace would get right on Larson's door, sucking his car around with the air, and Larson would back his car to the wall and end his day immediately.
Wheel to wheel into 3. Bubba Wallace holding strong on the outside.
What a move through 3 and 4 by Bubba Wallace to stay right there. He's going to have to stay aggressive, stay tight on the door of this 5.
Oh, around goes the 5. He slides it into the wall. He goes. The caution comes out.
Just get it rolling. Just get it rolling. You're fine.
No air on the 5 as he was going through turn 1, and around he went.
Wallace had to lift quite a bit to not get taken away in that wreck with the 5. Lost a couple positions on the racetrack. Not sure how he'll be scored.
I mean, how many races now to not get a good restart that's going to allow Joey Logano to jump in that outside lane like you talked about, Junior? Huge advantage of Logano right here, I think.
And how about his teammate Ryan Blaney blocking him? Blaney already on to the round of 8. Logano fighting to go to the round of 8.
5 wide.
Here they come. The 41 on the inside. Suarez trying to take over the lead, but the 9 of Elliott pushes the 22 up front.
And look at the 14 falling back. That gamble not paying off for him, but the 22 has a huge opportunity to get these points.
Big championship implications for Joey Logano as he has 1 lap to go, trying to stay in front of Chase Elliott, also fighting for his playoff hopes. Chase Elliott with a big run, though. He's able to close the gap on Logano.
Logano trying to break the draft down the back straightaway. He's looking in that mirror the entire lap here, trying to go wherever that 9 car is and take the air off of the front of that 9 car.
Is he close enough? Can Chase Elliott catch him by the start-finish line? A little bit of momentum. It's not going to happen. Logano's going to win stage 1.
Screen checker right there. Nice job.
Just being able to make that 20 car about 20 feet wide. He's a man on a mission. See Kenseth over there on that quarter panel pulling him back.
This could get dicey. Coming around to the white flag. Kenseth wiggles. Can Kane clear him? He does. Last lap in Atlanta.
This was by far the timeliest of wins for Kasey Kahne as he was trying to make the 2014 playoffs. With the new system of win and you're in, Kahne was out of the playoffs currently with 2 races to go. He headed into Atlanta, one of his favorite tracks, and flat out took him to school. Kasey Kahne beat Matt Kenseth on a restart to take home the victory and to punch his way into the 2014 NASCAR playoffs.
Around goes the 20.
Keep coming, shove through it.
Kenseth around, out in front of the field. The 41 has damage. Joey Logano clears him, but the 2, incredible damage on the 2 of Brad Keselowski as well.
The 22 got at the racetrack, the 2 got in the back of the 22, and they come off the corner, the 20 and the 2 make contact. It's on from there.
Yeah, and the 41, it really has nowhere to go. They spin and catch the 41. He makes heavy contact.
The 2015 Martinsville playoff race saw one of the most controversial races we've ever seen in the playoff era. Matt Kenseth was intentionally crashed by Brad Keselowski, and then he intentionally crashed Joey Logano later. But one thing about this accident that you probably never realized was Kurt Busch was inches from wrecking Jeff Gordon, who ultimately won this race and punched his ticket into the Final Four at Homestead. This crash ultimately was the demise of the 41 and 20s championship hopes in 2015.
Kahne determining the restart once he enters the restart zone.
If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, if you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure these videos will catch your eye also.